It's not dead, but I think 10, 15 years ago we thought the internet would create this world where information was free. Now we see a trend towards reversing it with more and more restrictions on internet freedom. It's not dead, but it's in a perilous state.
So, what do you think, who should determine the standards of freedom of expression on internet? We believed that that's determined somehow by states, but now we see it's more determined by private actors who in fact facilitate our communication.
Yeah, I think that's a very dangerous development. I think, we do need, for instance, when it comes to content, on restrictions on content, we do need legal standards. But I think they should be as few, as clear as possible, because what we see now is a constant wave of more and more layers of restrictions, of banning, of blocks, of censorship that is very dangerous.
And how do you explain this love-hate relationship between traditional media and social media? We see that right now the traditional media are not so happy with the role of social media as a distribution channels.
Yeah, you can understand. You can understand why. If your media consumption as your average citizen consists of scrolling through your Twitter feed or your Facebook updates rather than buying newspapers, then obviously that hurts the business model of traditional media. I mean, in a perfect world, it's a synergy, because social media can obviously also help traditional media penetrate and get their stories out much wider. So I think we should aim for a synergy rather than a zero-sum game.
So practically we have a lot of content on platforms, on social media, on other intermediaries, and some of that content is not fine, it's not legitimate, it's not legal. And then we have a lot of notices on the other side. Do you think that these notices are reviewed carefully and transparently?
I very much doubt that, but if you take such an entity as Facebook, I mean, they guard very closely the procedure. They don't have transparency about it, and I think that having become so important, basically an editor of global conversations and debates, I think we need much more transparency and openness on exactly how they do it.
And almost at the end, well, what do you think? What is your opinion on the impact of right to be forgotten on freedom of speech and freedom of expression in Europe?
I think it's a dangerous concept, and I think we've seen quite a number of cases where it has been abused by powerful people to suppress stories that they don't like about themselves. We had one in Denmark where a businessman used the ECJ's ruling to have links about him having cheated on his CV removed. And we know that more than 600,000 links have been removed by Google since 2014. I don't think that's a healthy development.